Hey everybody, Rusty Stuff here. Wanted to talk to y'all a little bit about some of the issues that you're going to find with these Stickneys. If you have one, then you know it's a miracle of engineering that these things run at all. And I'm sorry for the bad camera work. I'm not very fancy here. I'm in a little tractor shed and using my phone. But nonetheless, so on these Stickneys, this here is your igniter. And there's a phenolic washer right here between your igniter lead connector, and on the inside of right here is a separate piece that screws onto this. The phenolic lead isolates it from the rest of the body. This is your point inside here. So there's 2 points and they need to be cleaned just about every time you run these engines. They get dirty easy and it prevents you from running good. Also, you're gonna probably have a compression leak right here where this piece, the igniter lead portion, screws into. Inside here is the point portion. If any of y'all want to see that, I can pull it apart and show you a video on how to tighten all that up. It's pretty straightforward, but if you don't know that that's how this piece is, that you unscrew this, and you don't have to Hercules tighten this. It needs to be tight because it is holding compression, but if you have a leak at this phenolic washer, and you can tell by putting a drop of oil on it while it's running, and you'll see some bubbles coming off of there. You'll have to take that apart, tighten it up, and put it back together. While you're in there, clean both points good with some steel wool. Don't use anything real abrasive. If your engine's running and you use something real abrasive, you're going to throw your gap off and it's not going to run. Another compression leak point is on top of this intake valve right here. There is a dimple. That's your oil dimple for your intake valve. And if you put oil in that little dimple and you start seeing bubbles, then guess what? You have an intake valve leak. Mine is minor. I think they all have a little bit of it. You can decide on your own if you want to, pull the head and lap your valves, a little better and try it again. This one runs good enough that I decided not to do that. Another thing I found is that on the bottom of this carburetor, you have this knurled knob, which is one of your carburetor adjustments. You have a valve going up, and then you've got a needle valve here. So between those two, you have to find your sweet spot. And mine, as it was running, was coming loose. So I Loctited that a little bit. Nothing drastic. It was green Loctite, and it holds it in place while the engine's running. But if I need to move that adjustment, I can without drastically breaking the Loctite. You can see here that I have marked my sweet spots with a Sharpie. So I can always come back to exactly where this engine runs the best in my mind. So what I'll do is, to start it, I'll come down to my start line. This never moves. And then I'll hold up on this little button right here, and I'll cover this with my finger and crank it over once till I get a little fuel drip. Then it's been choked, it's got fuel to the carburetor. And I won't be able to do that with y'all watching because I don't have a stand to put you on. So I'll do it real quick and I'll show you, once you tighten all this up, how good this engine starts and runs. So we'll get her set up. Give me 1 second. Okay, you heard it fire that first time. And we got fuel. My glove is wet. So now you see all that smoke coming out of the exhaust, it normally doesn't do that. This screw right here, this little knurled knob, what this is you unscrew this and you put a couple drops of oil in there, very seldom, but that lubricates your exhaust valve. If you don't do that, you're not helping yourself any. These engines need lots of lubrication. I'm not so much talking about the oiler for the cylinder. I have mine dripping very slow. Okay, it drips very slow. But that piston is always wet. What I'm talking about is the grease cups. If you don't grease it, you're causing heat and friction and it will not run right. You need to oil and grease this engine regularly or it will not run right. But that's it, folks. Good luck to you. This is a difficult engine. Thanks a bunch.